how time truly speeds along, doesn't it? It seems like only yesterday we were celebrating a new century, and here we are already deep into the third decade of the 2000s. The world keeps turning, and with each rotation, new challenges and fresh chances appear. We've witnessed so much alteration, so much advancement, and yes, some difficulties too. It's a continuous motion between what we know and what we don't, isn't it? And in this complex motion, each of us plays a role, whether large or small. Every single person adds to the vast design of human life, contributing their own threads, their own hues. One thing that has always captivated me is the incredible strength of people. Just consider it. Through conflicts, natural disasters, economic downturns, and all kinds of personal struggles, humanity finds a way to last, to adjust, to rebuild. It's a testament to the might of the human spirit, that inner flame that refuses to be put out. We are constantly learning, constantly evolving, and that's a beautiful thing. It's what keeps us progressing, keeps us striving for something better. There's an inherent urge within us to seek enhancement, to solve difficulties, to reach for the stars. And that natural push is what powers so much of what we observe around us, from the simplest discovery to the most intricate scientific revelation. Think about the immense scope of human understanding. It's truly astonishing. From the earliest records of time, people have been gathering knowledge, passing it down through generations, building upon what came before. We have ideas that explain the beginnings of the universe, and we have practical skills for tending a garden. It's an unending process of finding and using information. And with the arrival of technology, the speed at which we can get and share this understanding has quickened beyond anything our ancestors could have imagined. It's like we're all linked to a giant, ever-growing mind with information flowing freely in all directions. This interconnectedness brings its own set of blessings and issues, of course, as everything does. It allows us to work together globally, to share thoughts instantly, but it also means we're constantly flooded with information, and figuring out what's important or truthful can be a real undertaking. Speaking of technology, isn't it amazing how much it has shaped our existence? From the small devices we carry in our pockets to the enormous networks that span continents, technology has woven its... Sometimes it feels like we're living in a futuristic story, doesn't it? The possibilities seem limitless, and with each passing year, new breakthroughs appear that make us reconsider what's even achievable. There's a constant drive to make things quicker, more efficient, more intuitive. And while there are valid concerns about the influence of all this rapid advancement, especially on things like privacy and personal connections, it's undeniable that technology has brought about a significant shift in the human experience. It's a potent instrument, and like any potent instrument, its effect depends on how we choose to use it. We have the duty to guide its growth and deployment in a way that benefits everyone, that encourages well-being and advancement, rather than creating new division or problems. But amidst all this talk of progress and technology, it's also important to remember the simple things, the human elements that truly count. Things like kindness, sympathy, understanding, and genuine interaction. These are the building blocks of a strong and healthy community, and they are just as crucial now, if not more so, than they ever were. In a world that often feels fast-paced and fragmented, taking the moment to truly listen to someone, to offer assistance, or to simply share a smile can make a profound difference. These small acts of humanity spread outwards, creating a more positive and supportive atmosphere for everyone. It's easy to get caught up in the big picture, the worldwide concerns, the grand stories, but sometimes the most meaningful changes begin at a very personal level, with one person showing warmth to another. A reminder that even in a world of intricacy, the core human values remain essential. And then there's the natural environment, our planet, this magnificent sphere we call home. It's a source of unending wonder and splendor, isn't it? From the towering mountains to the vast seas, from the dense woodlands to the scorching deserts, the variety of life and scenery is simply breathtaking. And we as people are part of this intricate natural system. We rely on it for our survival, for the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we consume. There's a growing awareness, and a very necessary one, about our duty to care for this planet, to guard its precious resources, and to ensure its health for future generations. It's a huge undertaking, requiring global cooperation and individual effort, but it's one of the most vital difficulties we face. The choices we make today about how we interact with the natural world will have lasting results, and it's something we simply cannot afford to ignore. The balance of nature is delicate, and our actions, both big and small, can either disrupt it or help to maintain it. It's about finding harmony, about living in a way that respects the limits and renewal capabilities of the earth. Considering the future, it's a mix of enthusiasm and uncertainty, isn't it? On one side, there's the promise of incredible breakthroughs in medicine, in energy, in space exploration, in comprehending the very structure of reality. Imagine treatments for illnesses that once seemed unbeatable, or sustainable energy sources that can power the whole world without harming the environment. The possibilities are truly inspiring.
Hmm?
On the other side, there are ongoing difficulties: climate shifts, social disparities, political instability. These aren't simple problems with easy answers, and they demand careful thought, inventive solutions, and a readiness to work together across boundaries and cultures. It's a future that we are actively forming right now, with every choice we make, every action we take. And that's both a huge responsibility and an amazing chance. We have the ability to influence what comes next, to build a world that is more fair, more sustainable, and more peaceful. It won't be simple, but nothing truly valuable ever is. It requires vision, commitment, and a dedication to shared ideals. One of the most captivating aspects of human existence is our capability for creativity. From the earliest cave drawings to the most complex musical compositions, from elaborate sculptures to groundbreaking architectural designs, and the desire to create, to express, to invent, is deeply embedded in us. It's how we make sense of the world, how we convey our deepest feelings, and how we leave our mark. Art, music, stories, dance, these are not just forms of amusement. They are essential expressions of the human spirit. They challenge us, motivate us, comfort us, and connect us. They allow us to explore different viewpoints, to experience emotions we might not otherwise encounter, and to find beauty in the ordinary. And creativity isn't limited to the arts. It's also present in scientific discoveries, in problem solving, in business ventures, in finding new approaches to old difficulties. It's the spark that ignites progress, the engine that drives innovation. Nurturing this creative spirit, both in ourselves and in others, is vital for a flourishing society. It allows us to imagine new possibilities and to bring them into being, shaping our surroundings and our culture in profound ways. And let's not overlook the power of narratives. From the stories told around ancient campfires to the sprawling tales on our screens today, narratives are how we pass on knowledge, values, and cultural identity. They teach us about ourselves and about others. They allow us to step into different lives, to see the world through different eyes. They build understanding and sympathy. Through narratives, we learn about successes and failures, about love and loss, about bravery and fear. They shape our grasp of history and help us imagine what's to come. They are the threads that link generations, connecting us to the past and guiding us toward what might be. Whether they are personal anecdotes, historical accounts, or fictional narratives, stories hold immense power to affect us, to inspire us, and to change us. They are a fundamental part of the human experience, and their lasting presence across all cultures and times is proof of their deep importance. We are, in many ways, storytelling creatures. Education, too, is a cornerstone of human advancement. It's more than just gathering facts, it's about developing strong thinking abilities, fostering curiosity, and enabling individuals to reach their full potential. A well-educated populace is a more informed populace, better equipped to make sound judgments, to take an active part in society, and to contribute to the common good. Access to quality education is not just a privilege, it's a basic right and something that every community should aim to provide for all its members. It's about opening doors, expanding horizons, and nurturing the next generation of thinkers, innovators, and leaders, and leaders, and leaders. The effect of education reaches far beyond the individual, influencing communities, nations, and the entire global landscape. It's a continuous process, too, not just restricted to formal schooling. Lifelong learning, the desire to constantly acquire new skills and understanding, is becoming increasingly important in a world that is always transforming. It's about staying adaptable, relevant, and engaged with the developing world around it. And finally, let's consider the idea of community. We are, by our very nature, social beings. We thrive in connection, in shared experiences, in mutual help. Whether it's a small neighborhood, a local group, or a worldwide online forum, communities provide a sense of belonging, a network of support, and a place for working together. They are where we learn to cooperate, to find common ground, to celebrate triumphs, and to navigate difficulties together. In a world that can sometimes feel isolating, the strength of our communities becomes even more crucial. So, they are the places where we find our group, where we feel understood and valued. Building and nourishing these connections, investing our time and effort in the well-being of our communities, is a powerful way to contribute to a more peaceful and fulfilling existence for everyone. It's about recognizing that we are all linked, and that by supporting each other, we collectively become stronger. Strong community offers a safety net, a place to discuss ideas, and a starting point for individual and collective flourishing. And sometimes the most profound impact we can have is by simply being present and involved within our own immediate circles, fostering a sense of belonging and shared purpose. It's a reminder that even in a vast world, local connections remain deeply important and provide a vital framework for our lives. Every morning when you awaken, it's a brand new chance to craft your day. It's a fresh start to design the experience you wish to have. Yet so often, we discover ourselves allowing outside circumstances to dictate our state of being. We permit the traffic, the climate, other people's dispositions, or any number of seemingly minor things to irritate us and push us off balance. But what if I told you that you possess the ability to regain command? What if you could learn to behave as if nothing bothers you, no matter what life presents? Sounds impossible, doesn't it? Well, let me explain it for you. We're all acquainted with the old saying, don't stress over the small stuff. But you see, from the mind's viewpoint, there isn't small stuff or large stuff. It's all just stuff. It's all information. And you can choose how you're going to perceive and react to that information. Consider it like this. Let's say you're driving to your job and someone abruptly changes lanes in front of you in traffic. Your heart rate rises, you might utter some choice words, and you're thrown into a bad mood for the rest of your drive and even after reaching the office. But here's the point. Here's the point. In that moment, when the person cut you off, nothing truly occurred to you. No physical injury came to you. You didn't get into an incident or suffer any real repercussions. It was simply an occurrence that your mind perceived as a threat or an affront. Now, I'm not suggesting it's acceptable for people to drive carelessly or to cut others off, but I'm saying that you have a choice in how you're going to react to that event. You can let it ruin your entire day, or you can learn to act as if it doesn't bother you at all. You see, when something happens that we view as disagreeable or annoying, there's a chemical release that occurs in the body. We enter a fight or flight mode. Our emotions take over, and all logical reasoning disappears. But what if you could stop that process? What if, at the moment you start to feel that emotional surge, you could deliberately choose to interrupt that response? It's not always simple, but with regular practice, you can train your mind and body to remain calm and steady, no matter what approaches you. Behaving as if nothing bothers you means developing what I call ultimate life force traits. It means stepping into your personal power and reminding yourself that you are the architect of your reality, not the victim of circumstances. One of those ultimate life force traits is imperturbability, the capacity to remain calm, balanced, and undisturbed in the face of any situation. It's the opposite of being easily agitated or upset. Well, it means understanding that you have the inner might to endure any difficulty without losing your equilibrium. Another essential trait is unflappability, not easily discomposed or thrown off balance. When you're unflappable, you move through life with elegance and ease, not allowing external events to bother you or shake your composure. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Yes, that all sounds wonderful in theory, but how do I actually put this into action? Well, my friends, it begins with awareness. You must become highly conscious of your thoughts, feelings, and physical sensations in any given moment. When you feel that initial flicker of annoyance or anger starting to form, recognize it for what it is. Simply an impulsive signal from your brain. At that point, you have a choice. You can cling to that feeling and let it consume you, or you can deliberately interrupt the pattern. Take a deep breath. Feel your feet planted firmly on the ground, but remind yourself, I'm not going to let this bother me. I am in control of my state of being. It's like pressing the reset button in your mind and body. You're choosing to remain centered, balanced, and undisturbed, no matter what's happening around you. And let me tell you, when you start acting as if nothing can bother you, it's incredibly empowering. You'll discover that you move through life with a newfound sense of ease and lightness. Things that used to provoke you will barely even register. You'll stop stressing the minor things because you realize that it's all minor stuff in the grand scheme of things. And here's the real insight. When you start embodying these ultimate life force traits of imperturbability and unflappability, you'll notice that your external reality begins to shift. The situations and individuals that used to bother you will have less and less of an effect. It's like you're operating on a completely different vibration, one of inner calm and centeredness. So, how do you reach that place? Well, my friends, it requires practice, lots and lots of practice. But stay with me, because the reward is so worthwhile. So begin by noticing yourself throughout the day whenever you feel that emotional surge rising. Maybe someone says something that annoys you, or you spill your coffee, or you encounter every red light on your journey. Whatever it is, pause for a moment and simply observe the feeling without judging it or clinging to it. Breathe deeply and remind yourself, I'm not going to let this bother me. I am in control of my state of being. Say it out loud if you need to. Let those words become your repeated phrase, your anchor back to a state of calm and ease. At first, it might feel a bit forced or unnatural. That's fine. Anything worth having takes time and effort. But as you continue to make this a regular habit, you'll find that it becomes simpler and simpler and simpler to act as if nothing bothers you. Eventually, it will become natural. And as you start to embody these traits of imperturbability and unflappability, you'll notice that your entire life begins to change. Situations that used to cause you immense tension and anxiety will barely even register. You'll move through your days with a sense of lightness and ease that you never thought possible. Of course, there will still be difficulties and challenging moments. That's just part of life. But you'll find that you're able to navigate them with far more elegance and resilience than ever before. You'll be able to maintain your center no matter what difficulties come your way. So, my friends, I invite you to make a commitment. Commit to learning how to act as if nothing bothers you. Commit to developing those ultimate life force traits of imperturbability and unflappability. It's a journey, yes, but it's a journey to profound freedom, effortless ease, and inner calm. And let me leave you with this. When you learn to act as if nothing bothers you, you'll not only change your own experience of life, but you'll become a beacon of inspiration for those around you. For those around you. Your calm, centered presence will be a light that others are drawn to, a reminder that true peace and empowerment come from within. So, are you ready to regain command of your state of being? Are you ready to step into your ultimate life force and learn to act as if nothing bothers you? If so, then let's get started. The journey begins today, in this very moment, and I promise you the rewards will be greater than you can't even imagine. One of the largest hindrances we encounter on this path is our inclination to get caught up in the story of the situation. Our minds begin constructing tales about why something is unfair, unjust, or simply annoying. But those stories only serve to intensify the emotional charge and make it even harder to remain centered. The key is to recognize that the stories are not real. They're just interpretations created by your thoughts. When you separate yourself from the narrative and simply observe what is happening without all the additional commentary, it becomes much easier to respond from a place of calm clarity rather than reactivity. For instance, let's revisit that scenario of someone cutting you off in traffic. Your mind might immediately start telling you stories like, that person is so rude and inconsiderate. Don't they know how to drive properly? This is going to make me late now. And with each thought, you become more and more emotionally charged. But if you can catch yourself and simply state the facts without embellishment, someone merged into my lane. It neutralizes the situation. You don't have to turn it into a major drama about you or assign negative intentions. It's just something that happened, plain and simple. From that place of objectivity, it's much easier to act as if it doesn't bother you. Another powerful exercise is to reframe negative situations as opportunities for growth. When something occurs that would normally push your buttons, you can choose to view it as a chance to strengthen your imperturbability and unflappability muscles. It's like spiritual exercise for your equanimity. So instead of saying, oh, Not this again. When faced with a challenging circumstance, you can think to yourself, excellent. Here's my chance to practice acting as if this doesn't bother me at all. Approach it with genuine curiosity and excitement about putting your abilities to the test. With this shift in perspective, you'll find that challenging situations no longer trigger the same automatic emotional responses. You'll be able to respond from a place of conscious awareness rather than just unconscious reaction. And each time you're able to stay unflappable, it reinforces those neural pathways and makes it easier the next time. Speaking of neural pathways, understand that as you diligently strive to alter deeply ingrained patterns and habits, you are literally reshaping your brain. Those established neural connections that once ignited anger, frustration, or irritation need not remain unchangeable. You can cultivate new pathways of calmness through the repetition of new thought and behavior patterns. It requires consistent practice, but consider the freedom of no longer being a prisoner to your automatic emotional responses, of navigating life's inevitable changes with grace, composure, and an inner tranquility that is truly unshakable. That is the gift of acting as if nothing disturbs you. And as you embody this way of being with increasing regularity, it will spread into all areas of your existence, not merely in response to external circumstances, but also in how you interact with your own internal storms of thoughts and emotion. You will find it simpler to let go, to forgive, to release resentments and complaints. Everything simply becomes more effortless and smooth. Ultimately, developing the ability to act as if nothing disturbs you is about taking complete ownership of your internal state. It is realizing that you are not a victim of circumstances, but the creator of your reality through the energy and vibration you send out. When you interact with the world from a place of centeredness and inner peace, you naturally attract more of that reflected back. Right? The situations and individuals that once triggered you will seem to miraculously disappear because you have risen to a higher level of consciousness that no longer feeds that old, repeating energy. Therefore, I urge you to embrace this practice completely. Approach it with patience, dedication, and even a spirit of playful exploration. See every challenge life presents as an opportunity to expand and strengthen those imperturbability muscles, and constantly remind yourself that you possess the power to choose your state in any given moment. This journey is not always easy, but I assure you it is worth it, because on the other side resides a life of freedom, empowerment, and profound inner peace that is truly priceless. So let us begin, shall we? The path to becoming unflappable in the face of any hardship starts right here, right now. One of the fundamental principles we must embrace is the understanding that nothing that happens to us is inherently positive or negative. Those are merely labels and judgments we apply based on our conditioning. At their core, events are neutral. It is our perception and internal reaction that imbues them with meaning and emotional weight. Consider a child-proof safety lid on a bottle of medicine. To a child, that lid is merely a frustrating obstacle preventing them from getting what they want. But to a parent, that same lid is a vital safeguard protecting their child from potential harm. Potential harm. The same lid, completely different perception based on context and programming. When we can step back and acknowledge that events in themselves are neutral, it becomes easier to act as if they do not disturb us. Now, I am not suggesting we become emotionally unresponsive or disconnect from our humanity. Emotions are a natural part of the human experience, but we can learn to relate to them in a different way as temporary visitors, rather than persistent, long-term residents occupying space in our mind. The next time a situation arises that would typically push your buttons, try this instead. Rather than rejecting the emotion or struggling against it, simply open your awareness to receive it, almost as if you are watching a cloud move across the sky. Do not cling to the story behind it. Simply feel the pure energetic sensation in your body as it appears, peaks, and eventually fades. You might notice tightness in your chest or abdomen as anger moves through, or perhaps a hot, flushed sensation with annoyance. Rather than avoiding or suppressing these feelings, simply open yourself up and consciously experience them. But do not feed them with mental chatter. Like watching a wave rise and then recede into the ocean, observe with curiosity and open acceptance. You will find that emotions have far less power and pull. They lose their stickiness. You create space for them to move through you rather than becoming enveloped and overwhelmed by them. This is crucial for cultivating the ability to act as if external circumstances do not disturb you. Because here is the fundamental truth. Nothing external can truly disturb you unless you grant it permission to do so from within. Those triggers only have power because we have given them power over decades of patterning. But in this moment, you can make the deliberate choice to withdraw that power, to no longer engage with those old conditioned reactions. It all returns to realizing that the center of control resides within you, not in outside individuals or circumstances. As you become more skilled at this internal work of separating your sense of self from external conditions, you will likely notice two things. First, First, you will find yourself being disturbed by fewer and fewer things in your daily life. Those situations that once launched you like a rocket will feel more like gentle nudges that you can easily let go of. And second, on those occasions when you are briefly unsettled or knocked off balance, you will return to your usual state of imperturbability. Oh, much more quickly. The intensity will not linger and start to affect other areas. You'll be able to recenter yourself quickly and maintain a state of steady, conscious calm. This all points to one of the greatest advantages of cultivating this way of being. You will save vast amounts of vital energy that once wasted on negativity, stress, and reactivity. Just imagine what you could achieve, create, and experience in life when you are no longer needlessly draining your life force. You will possess significantly more presence, clarity, and personal power available to focus on what truly matters to you. Your relationships will improve as you present yourself as a grounded, non-reactive anchor. You will make decisions from a place of good judgment rather than being swayed by every fleeting emotional impulse. In many ancient wisdom traditions, the highest accomplishment a human being could attain was considered to be the state of utter imperturbability, to remain calm, steady, and internally resolute in the face of any circumstance, whether poverty or wealth, loss or gain, pleasure or pain. The wise ones understood that in such a state of unshakable understanding, we become the designers of our reality rather than victims of chance occurrences. We live as conscious creators, undisturbed by the changes that bother those still tied to reaction and a lack of self-mastery. Of course, such heights of self-realization are a journey of dedicated practice over many lifetimes, but the beauty is we can begin walking that path today, in this very moment, simply by setting the intention to act as if nothing disturbs us. With that intention firmly established, every problem or challenge that arises becomes an opportunity to expand and strengthen our imperturbability muscles a little more. We get to practice the art of remaining steady amidst any storm, and each time we do, we reinforce those neural pathways of inner calm and establish new patterns for the mind and body. Eventually, being imperturbable, unflappable, and acting as if nothing disturbs you will become your natural, embodied state of being, not something you must work at, but how you simply experience yourself navigating life. Calm, grounded, deeply centered. From that foundation of realized calmness, your actions, choices, and creations will flow with harmony, wisdom, and grace. So keep training, keep practicing, keep recommitting to the intention each day. Celebrate your successes, have compassion for yourself on the days that are more challenging, but never give up your ability to master acting as if nothing disturbs you, because in doing so, you will be doing more than merely learning to ride the waves of life's changes with skill. You will be undertaking the supreme spiritual work of reclaiming your divine birthright as an empowered, self-governing creator being, and that is the grandest journey any of us can undertake in this human experience. So let us walk that path together, shall we? A life of profound freedom and unwavering inner peace awaits. At the heart of it is the understanding that we are not our thoughts, emotions, or external circumstances. We are the conscious awareness observing all of those passing phenomena. The thoughts will appear and disappear. The emotions will rise and fall. Situations will constantly be changing around us. But our true nature remains unchanged, a field of pure possibility, undisturbed by the dance of impermanence. But when we are able to firmly anchor ourselves in that realization of our deepest, most fundamental self, the world around us takes on a different shade. The triggers and disruptions that used to disturb us so intensely start to lose their clinging power, like strong currents losing their fierce pull in a vast, endless ocean. This is not a rational, mind-based process of making ourselves okay with unpleasant circumstances. It is more of a direct reorienting of our very existence, like tuning into a different radio station, where the ego mind tries to control and manage reality according to its preferences. This transcendent I of spirit simply observes, allowing whatever appears to unfold in perfect naturalness. There is a profound letting go that happens, letting go of grasping at pleasure and avoiding pain, letting go of our ingrained reflexes to accept or reject, hold on to or push away. Hold on to or push away. Like a leaf carried on the seamless currents of the wind, we give up our usual controlling tendencies and become an open vessel for the ceaseless blooming of life itself. Of course, this is all much easier said than done. Our ego patterns run deep, reinforced by countless years of forgetting our true nature and mistaking the personal self for the entirety of who we are. So it takes tremendous commitment, dedication, and gentleness with ourselves to untangle those old knots. One particularly powerful practice is to continuously pause throughout your days and feel into the open, expansive awareness that is present in this moment, right here, right now. Before your thoughts define it, before your emotions color it, there is a simple, pure presence that is the raw understanding, observing this present experience, unbound by its contents. Can you feel that unconditioned awareness surrounding and supporting every perception, every thought, every sensory experience? That is the very essence of your being, older than the universe itself and younger than this present moment. When you temporarily detach from all the learned beliefs, memories, preferences, and labels, what remains is the simple foundational ground of your awakened nature. From that spacious expanse, brought into living presence, the experiences that would normally disturb you have much less of a pull. Less of a pull. You start to experience them almost as if watching a live theater performance, engaging, immersive, possessing a certain dramatic weight and momentum, yet always happening within the open, undisturbed awareness that you are. Thoughts, emotions, and external circumstances become more like temporary guests in the abiding awakeness rather than burdens you have to carry or prisons you are confined within. There is a natural lightness that arises, allowing them to come, go, and be as they are, without weight or fixedness. And it is from that free, centered, undisturbed state of pure allowance that your true creative powers emerge. No longer weighed down by the pull of resistance, you become a channel for higher harmonies and greater possibilities to flow into manifestation. The universe moves through you as a holographic instrument of its own evolution, orchestrating symphony after symphony after symphony of sacred revelation. This transformation does not necessarily mean that you will never experience intense emotions, painful circumstances, or the whole glorious range of human experience again. In fact, you will likely find that you can feel those experiences even more richly and deeply when you are not suppressing them or filtering them through your biases. But the context will have shifted. You will be able to hold and feel the intensity of those experiences within the vast, undisturbed openness of your being, like a dream, however vivid, being dreamt within the seamless flow of consciousness itself. Huh. This means you will suffer less, reside more fully in the present, and embrace each experience as a revealing homecoming. Through it all, there is a deepening understanding. The realization that the all-encompassing peace and completeness you have been searching for is never separate from you, to begin with. It is the very essence of who and what you are, beneath all the conditioned ideas and mental projections of a separate self. The ultimate homecoming is when that recognition blossoms into the direct living experience of your eternal, imperturbable nature as the one self. The one self. So keep returning to that source awareness, that still point of presence throughout your days. Let it be the open embrace within which everything arises and returns to its origin. To its origin. Immerse yourself in its unshakable peace, its unwavering acceptance of what is. And from that space of profound embrace, learn to act as if nothing disturbs you. Not because you have adopted a superficial spiritual attitude or a mask of indifference, but because you have realized the vibrant truth of the infinite and eternal. Every experience, no matter how intense, is welcomed home to that vast, all-encompassing foundation. This is the great unfolding that our beings are meant for, the full blooming of our enlightened nature. Difficulties and challenges still arrive, but like a force of nature itself, we meet them with unshakable wisdom and unbreakable presence. It is the living embodiment of the sacred and the ultimate healing for a world steeped in turmoil. So let us walk this path with humility and patience, for it is only through this profound ease of being that we ultimately blossom into our greatest human potential and become the steady lights the world needs at this crucial time. When nothing disturbs us, we become the unwavering, peaceful presence and clarity that helps envision a new dream for our world and all beings. That is the power and great privilege of this journey. I will meet you there, on the undisturbed shores of the possible. All that is required is that we choose to act as if nothing, and truth can ever truly disturb us, for we are the home in which all experiences arise and return.